Okay, we are back on. I'm very sorry about the interruptions, about the streaming time, and also about the very unstable network. So we were before we are cut off. I was talking about exams. How to take exams, and I've reached to the point where I was saying that you have to be very knowledgeable about the nature of the exams that you are going to take. You must know what how the assessments are carried out. You must know how many marks go towards assessment, and how many marks go towards the final end term exams. And you also must know the times when these are undertaken. Now, in at JUICE initially, it used to be that lecturers would give continuous assessments at whatever time they felt convenient, when they felt probably they have given enough content, and they are going to now give cuts. Now, again, induced in a semester, there are two continuous assessment cuts. Sorry, it's two continuous assessment exams. So that one, the semester is about 14 weeks. So in the first 7 weeks, there's going to be one continuous assessment, and then in the next 4 or so weeks, there's going to be another one, and the last 2 weeks are going to be exams. So you must be very aware of how exams or how assessments are timed. Now, I think as from this year or last year, the cuts are now also timetabled, so that it's just a whole week for cuts. Like, I think is this semester it must be next week, but you need to be able to find that out, and need to be able to work with that. You need to be able to schedule your revision for all your continuous assessments for that particular time. And this is a good idea because it gives you as a student time. It gives you the knowledge of when these are, and then you can this will then help you to organize yourself, rather than as it was before, when you didn't know when which cat was coming exactly, and you are just groping in the dark. You are just um, uh, revising in the dark. Now you can schedule your revision work properly. So you must also know how your exams are supervised. You must also know whether they are sit in or take away. You must know whether you are just required to take free answers, or objective answers, whether they're what is called open book or closed book. Here in use, we don't do open book. It's because open book normally takes a lot of time. Now, for this particular exams, communication skills, I am going to give you both, um, for both the continuous assessment and the end term exams. I am going to give you an online exam. And this means that the online exam is going to be objective. I'm going to give you a question and give you a choice of answers A, B, C, D, which, or you're going to say whether the statement is true or false. Now, contrary to what people believe, this is a very difficult exam, because literally you must have at your fingertips every information about what you have been, the lectures, about the content you have been taking in, because it can be any of the statements, in terms of knowledge. So this one is much more difficult than writing an essay. In an essay you can fumble about, but in objective questions you cannot fumble about. You either know it or you don't know it. So for communication skills, and that's why I'm even giving you notes, you have to be very precise with your knowledge. I can see maybe in the chat some people are complaining that they don't have notes. Please go to your class rep, so that ask them to share your notes, the notes that I have given them with you. What I am I'm giving you lectures from my notes now, and these notes are with you. The only notes that are not with you so far that I'm going to give lectures about before we do the cards next week are the library skills notes. And even that, as soon as I'm finished, I am going to upload for you. I'm going to send to your class reps and let them share this with you. So you'll have no excuse absolutely to do very well in your continuous assessments. So you also must know the exam program routine. How long are the exams? How long are they going? Are they going to take, and how are they set out? So I've already told you how I'm going to set out the com skills, but you must find out from all your other subjects how they are set out. How many questions in the exams are there going to be? Are there any compulsory questions? How many questions must you answer in total in on the paper? So this you must know. The design is called the design of the exam, and this is why you must go maybe to the library or to the and look for past papers. um, Find out if previous exams are available. Sometimes if you find previous exams, you are quite lucky because you can find the trend, a lecturer's trend of asking questions. You also must know how exams and assessments are graded. How are each unit graded? Um, if you get a low grade, why is it that? Is it because you've given the wrong information, little or irrelevant information? Or is the information just badly presented? You have not answered the question, your thinking is unclear and confused, your arguments could be logical, you have not clearly shown which is your ideas and which are other people's ideas, you have probably not supported your evidence, you have not given good conclusions and introductions, for instance. So as you are revising and looking at past papers, these are some of the things that are in your mind. So how do you revise them? How do you remember the stuff that you have been learning? First, you revise as soon after the learning. This is the best time. Then you don't revise only once. You revise frequently. You maybe weekly. You have when you do your timetable, when you do your personal timetable, every week you must leave for revision of the various units that you're taking. So every day go over the main points in your mind. If you like, you can be every once a week. You can also, in order to revise properly, you must also be able to organize and make your materials systematic to remember easily. So if you have charts, if you have diagrams, if you have just text to remember, organize them and make sure that you understand them properly. Because if you don't organize them, you will be, you'll be confused. Okay, Beryl, you are now happy. I can see. Okay. Also, make what you learn meaningful to you. Reduce the amount of what you have to learn also, and concentrate on many ideas. Don't try to remember everything. When you're revising, you just don't read, you also make notes. Remember, we said you make notes when you're listening to lectures. Remember, you said you make notes when you're reading your books. But also, another time to make notes is when you are revising for your exams, so that before you make these notes, there are some questions that you have put aside for revision, some things that you want to be able to answer at the end of your revision. So once you have done this, once you have read, made notes, then close them put them aside and see if you can if you can actually remember these things. So I'm glad to see that again we are back on. I hope that the net will stay stable. So like I've said, just don't revise blind. Look for past papers, exactly what you did when you are doing your O levels, and that's why you passed and your first years at the university. So you can also use past papers to revise. How will this help you? They'll help you see the exact layout of exam papers. In other words, the format of exam papers, the instructions of the exam papers, of the content of the exam papers. And then you look out for keywords. There are what you call keywords in examination, in examination questions. The keywords in examination are discuss. What does discuss mean? When you're told to discuss, you are asked to, in a very balanced way, say what you know about a particular subject or about a particular issue. And so, look, when you are revising, you are looking for the main ideas. So, when you are asked to discuss, you are asked to put in paper main ideas using your own words. When then there's also explain, this is also very easy. When you're asked to explain something, you are told to, the lecturer is expecting you to give um, what you understand it to be. What you understand it to be. If you are asked to list, then do